Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Completionist. The game I'm going to talk to you about today is my first completed game for this current generation of consoles. And that game is Castle of Shikigami 3 for the Nintendo Wii. Now, Castle of Shikigami 3 is a shoot 'em up that was released in 2008 by Axis Games, and it is pretty much the best game of the Castle of Shikigami series. Now, this is the third game of the franchise. Now, the first two games were actually released for the PlayStation 2. The first game was known as Mobile Light Force 2, but the second game they actually kept to the original title. But Castle of Shikigami 2 is known as having some of the most horrible English voice acting of all time. So guys, I'm going to show you how to fully complete Castle of Shikigami 3. Now, in order to consider this game truly and fully completed, there are two main things that you need to do. Number one, you have to unlock every piece of artwork in the game, and also you need to unlock every character scenario in the game as well. So guys, I'm not going to lie. In order to complete this game, you are going to have to invest a lot of time in this. Now, like most shoot 'em ups, they can actually be fairly quick to finish. If you're good at shoot 'em ups, your average playthrough of any shoot 'em up is going to run you at about half an hour. But in order to fully complete this game, you need to play it at least 55 times. I wish I was lying, guys, but you need to play it 55 times. Now, why do you need to play it 55 times? Well, in order to unlock all the character artwork in every character scenario, you need to play it at least 10 times in one-player mode, one time for every character. And then you need to play it in two-player mode, or dramatic change mode, with every combination of those 10 characters to make sure that you unlock everything. Now guys, the Castle of Shikigami series is a bullet hell shoot 'em up, so it can be fairly difficult, especially when you start playing this game. You're only given a certain number of credits, but for every hour of game time, the number of credits will slowly increase until you actually reach free play mode. So once you actually reach free play mode, it gets a little easier to fully beat. But as I said before, you are going to have to invest a lot of time into it. Yeah, so guys, before we get started, I just wanted to include a shout out as well. One of my subscribers, and I've subscribed to his channel as well. I'm a really big fan of a lot of his work because he covers a lot of the current shoot 'em ups that have been released lately, and I highly recommend you give his channel a try. And that user is named Majin Powers. So I'm going to provide the link down on the bottom. So I highly recommend you check out his channel. Now guys, in terms of playing this game, you do have two options. You can use the Wiimote, and you'll have to hold it like this to play the shoot 'em up. But I personally prefer using the classic controller. But this is just a personal preference of mine, and by all means, pick your own poison. So guys, just let me put these controllers up. So anyway, let me show you how to fully complete Castle of Shikigami 3 for the Nintendo Wii. So guys, here is Castle of Shikigami 3. Now before we get started, I just want to state on the record that I am not an expert on shoot 'em ups. I cannot one coin credit clear any of them. I think out of all the games I played on this, I think the best I did is I managed to finish the game with 2 continues. So anyway, if you are an expert on shoot 'em ups when watching this video, then don't take my advice whatsoever. If anybody new is playing this game for the first time, I hope some of my tips are handy. If not, I'm sure you'll develop your own style of playing this game. So let's get started. So guys, before we get started, I just wanted to show you some of the options that are available when we start to play the game. The first option that's available to us is game mode. Now, the types of game modes that are available is normal mode. This is the standard game mode in which all stages can be played. Then we have Easy Mode, which is a mode for beginners, and if you're playing this game for the first time, I recommend you give Easy Mode a try so you can get familiar with some of the stages and some of the bosses, and you can learn bullet hell patterns and things along those lines. But in Easy Mode, only the first 3 stages can be played. Then you have Extreme Mode, which is a hardcore mode for experts that would cater to the more hardcore bullet hell enthusiasts, and in this mode 1.5 more coins appear. Then we have Extreme Mode 2, in which enemy fire is twice as fast, and then we have Extreme Mode 3, in which enemy fire is 3 times as fast. Then we have story events. Now, for the completionist aspect, we'll keep the story events on at all times, but you do have the option to turn them off as well, but we need to keep them on in order to unlock all character scenarios. Then we have character voices, and I rather prefer to keep all the voices on. I actually like a lot of the voice work in the game, but you also have SE voices only, in which only the SE voices are played. The story event voices are not, so I've never seen a purpose for that. And then we have no voices whatsoever, which I never use. And then we have the music. Now, you can use the original Castle Shikigami 3's soundtrack, or you can actually use a remix of Castle Shikigami 2's soundtrack. But I prefer the soundtrack of Shikigami 3 more, but don't be afraid to mix it up. If you feel like using different music throughout the stages, by all means do so. So guys, here are the 10 characters you can use in order to beat Castle of Shikigami 3. Now, on one-player mode, you're going to have to use all of the 10 characters to beat the game. And in terms of the character artwork, there is one piece of artwork that gets unlocked every time you beat one-player mode with a specific character. Now, with two-player mode, you do need to use every combination of every character in order to make sure you unlock every character scenario. And at least when you use every character combination, you will unlock every piece of artwork every character has to offer. Now, personally, my 2 favorite characters to use throughout the game are Nagano. And the reason why I love Nagano a lot is that she has an incredibly useful shot that covers a lot of the screen. But she really shines with her special attack. She puts up a temporary shield that absorbs enemy bullets and reflects the enemy bullets back at the enemy. Now, she can only keep this shield up for a short period of time, and she can only absorb bullets that's coming to the front of her, but it is extremely helpful, especially when dealing with some of the bullet hell patterns. I don't usually use her Type 2 attack, which absorbs bullets, but you can use this absorption ray in any direction, but it has a very minimal range. She actually has a very useful bomb in the game, in which she shoots bubbles in any possible direction. My other favorite character to use in the game is Roger. Now, Roger has a very narrow shot that doesn't cover a lot of the screen, but this character really shines with his special attacks. He emits mines, and you can shoot these mines in any direction, and these mines do a hell of a lot of damage. It can take out sections of a boss's health bar incredibly easy, and he is pretty much my favorite character to use. Now, his Type 2 special attack is that his Shikigami still emits bombs, but it stays around him, and then they explode, so I don't use this Type 2 attack very much. He actually has an incredibly useful bomb in which he turns into a tornado, and you can direct him in any direction. And it's incredibly useful for a lot of the bosses that like to move around. So guys, now I'm going to show you the unlockables in the game. Now, one of the biggest unlockables is the character artwork. Now, you do have that option when you start Castle of Shikigami 3. You go into gallery mode, and we're going to go into the art gallery. Now, in the art gallery, we have a list of every character you can use in the game. You also have Kotaro's Shikigami as well, but also you have the bosses in the game as well. And basically, for example, if we go into Kotaro's art gallery, we see 12 different character poses that Kotaro does. And now, not all characters are going to have the same amount of character poses, like for example Emilio only has 8, Batu only has 8, Roger has a whole bunch. So, and even the bosses. Yukari has the most. She has 12, but the other bosses only have like 6. You have 6 here, you have 5 there, and the final boss you have 6. So how do you get these character poses? Well, let me show you. Character poses can appear at the very beginning of the game. As you can see, as the characters interact with each other, they'll do different poses all depending on their responses. And anytime a pose happens for the first time, that piece of artwork gets unlocked.
My. It's sad to see that Japanese women have forgotten the beauty behind such an outfit.
Now, different artwork can be obtainable just before the boss fight as well, and this is when you see some of the artwork of the boss.
Exploding in popularity. I'm the talk of the town. The super beautiful girl has arrived.
And anytime that the boss shows a different pose, then that artwork gets unlocked as well.
2. Yukari-chan wore a Gucci. 3. Yukari wore a Gucci.
Character poses will also appear at the end of the boss fight as well.
Don't worry. I didn't finish the job last time, but this time I'll get it done.
There will also be character dialogue and different poses available just before you fight every level. So try your best not to skip through it, because you never know what kind of different character poses will be available. Character poses can also be obtained during the epilogue of the game, all depending on the characters you choose or the combinations of the characters that you choose. So guys, that takes care of part 1 on how to complete Castle of Shikigami 3. So to finish up, I just want to show you boss attack mode and show you why Roger is one of my favorite characters of all time. So let's get to it. And we'll stick with type 1, it is my favorite special attack of his. Now with boss rush mode, you get to fight all the bosses in succession, but you have to do it within 1 credit. You can't continue. You can get more bombs and lives as the game progresses, but once all your lives are gone, then boss rush is over. And just look at the amount of damage that like the mines do, and this is like the first level boss. Now granted, he is incredibly easy, but just you charge up your mines and you just throw it at him and it completely depletes all of his life. And there we go, first boss completely finished. And now we're getting ready to fight the second boss of level 1. Just a little maneuvering, and her first set of life is gone. Second life is gone. I can't imagine how much damage these mines do. And there you go, and she's down for the count. So guys, definitely give this character a try. His special attack is literally the strongest special attack in the game. Second form down. Third form down. And he's down. Oh. So guys, look forward to part 2, in which we'll look a little closer at the character scenarios, and I'll show you some of the battle strategies you can use to get through this game a lot easier. So guys, take care, and I wish you nothing but the best. until part 2.